Hey guys, Cookie here once again. Things are going to be a little different on this top 10 because I am not alone in talking about it. Swanee is here as well. And we're going to do this top 10 podcast style and make it for you guys live. Sort of, kind of. It's technically recorded. But we're going to work on it as we talk and come up with a top 10 by the end of this podcast. So today's topic is the top 10 heroes that need to be added by DICE in Star Wars Battlefront 2 in future DLC. So there's tons to choose from, and that's what we're going to get into. Isn't that right, Swanee?
Oh, yes it is. I mean, instead of having just a straight up list, figured we'd just discuss it. That way there's some back and forth, kind of who thinks what hero should go where kind of thing. Okay, but before we get started, let me ask you this. Is this just going to be a list of heroes that we want, or heroes that they're realistically going to add because of balancing? Like if I say, oh, I want Jango Fett, but they're not going to add Jango Fett because technically they would have to have like another blaster hero to counter him, because that's how they do it. Like they set it up like they kind of want heroes to balance each other. Like if they have a blaster hero, they're not going to add like a saber hero.
I see.
Like they
kind of
want to keep. So if I say my number 2 is Dooku, and then you're like realistically, like if I pick a Clone Wars hero, and there's like no way they could add that hero at all. So is that person even worth putting down?
I would put it this way. If the odds of it not getting in because of a reason like that, like it's just overpowered or something, or there's no way to make that character make sense, I'd factor that into how high they are on this list. Like I'd factor the reasonability of DICE making them at all as one of the factors into how high they get on this list, if that makes sense. So it's based on a lot of different things, and that's one of those factors. So it's probably a good thing you bring that up, because that's one of the factors we should probably consider while we make this list. So the hero that we're looking to get the most, I think we're mostly in agreement on this one, but there's a little bit of argument to be had, I think. I think we both agree it's going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, or that would be the person that would deserve it more than anybody else, that should be the number one hero overall. I think we're fairly in agreement there.
That's also my number 1, because, I mean, he's kind of important to the whole story. Like, I'm not counting The Last Jedi, like the whole... Oh, never mind. I don't want to... That's pissing myself off. Okay. Wow. Obi-Wan's really important to Star Wars.
Triggered yourself.
And yes, triggered myself. Obi-Wan is very important to the old Star Wars. And he was in the old Battlefront. And he just plays a huge role. Like, go look at the prequel movies. He's freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, why the hell he wasn't in the original character list? It's just... Like that, like we've got Bosk, but we don't have Obi-Wan. So, I mean,
well, that's
really?
The major claim. He's freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi. What more do you need than that? But I mean,
yeah, he trained Darth Vader. He did a lot of stuff.
He was extremely.
He killed Darth Maul. Darth Maul's in the
personality. Game. Obviously, he was in the first game, or the original game.
The original Battlefront.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a foregone conclusion. Let me just put it this way: if DICE doesn't put Obi-Wan in future DLC, there's no defending that.
Well, at the rate they're going,
that's another story.
We might get any heroes. It's a different topic, I guess.
Different topic. So number 1, pretty easily said, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Number 2, I also think we're in most agreement on this one as well, which is the villain, which would probably go along with Obi-Wan Kenobi, which would be General Grievous. Just for the sake of just interesting to see what his powers would be. And I mean, there's obviously been a lot of talk that he's confirmed, not confirmed. And there's a very good chance he's going to be in future DLC, but that's not confirmed yet, so he can still be on this list. And General Grievous,
yes, just because somebody like. Yeah, they data mined him, and there's like files for him. That doesn't mean anything. Like there's old maps and there's all kinds of old code that's in the game that has been data mined that obviously didn't make it into the game. So, I mean, until it is confirmed, and at the rate that DICE talks to their fans, it might not be confirmed until the day of. So yeah, so Grievous for me is also number 2. I mean, I want Obi-Wan obviously better, but like I'd have Grievous over Dooku. Because Grievous, I mean, he just mainly because he just looks freaking cool. He's got 4 arms with lightsabers.
I'd be, like I said, his powers would be really interesting because he's such a unique character. There's no other hero or villain like General Grievous. Obviously, none of them have multiple arms that can play with multiple lightsabers at once. He's a very unique character, and I think that's what makes him above people like Count Dooku or Jango Fett. Because obviously there's Boba Fett, and obviously there's other Siths, but there's nobody like General Grievous. So I think it'll be extremely interesting to see where that goes. So the top 2 are in agreement. I think the disagreements are probably going to start here at number 3.
Probably.
I want to hear what your number 3 is before I come up with one of my own. And let me know what you're thinking.
Okay, number
here.
3 for me. Oh, does it got to be a hero or a villain, or does it matter? Let's see. Well, they already have Obi-Wan. You know, I'm going to go with probably Anakin. Just because Anakin was so important to the plot, and he was pretty huge in the prequels. And he was in the original game, and I think he would just be a cool character. Like, he looks cool. Although, I mean, it's not like I like good guy Anakin. I kind of like the evil Anakin. So I wish it was evil Anakin, but I don't know. Like, you know how in the original Battlefronts it was like Anakin and he was... Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that would be really... Yeah, because Anakin would...
Like, I want Anakin, but I want him to be evil. But yeah, I want Anakin. I guess he would be a good guy. But yeah, that's going to be my pick.
Nice, Annie. See, I would personally like Jango a little more. Even though Jango's really similar to Boba Fett, I just think his character's just that much cooler, has a really cool look to him. Of course, there's already that mod that I've showcased of a Jango Fett mod. And of course, it's not perfect, but it does give you a taste of what that might look like. And it's just, he's just so cool. I would personally be a little more interested in that, but I'm not so against Anakin that I wouldn't put him at number 3. I think he is someone important enough that you really should put in there at
well,
some
see,
point.
my pick for number 4 would have been Jango. So,
see, I'm agreeable on this one. I would still put Anakin number 3, Jango number 4. But to be honest, I'm kind of torn on the whole dark side, light side thing too, because dark side Anakin was frankly just cooler.
Well, they're not going to pair Jango. Jango had. No, are we considering the dice thing? Because they're not going to add.
Yeah. That's
Jango.
True.
Unless he has a counter. They'd probably put Jango and Padme or something. But I don't want Padme at all. I could care less if Padme's in the game.
She had some purpose. I mean, she has a purpose. She actually was
makes more sense than a lot of people that they could add. Yeah, like she actually killed droids and fought and stuff. But yeah, I'm just not excited for her. Like, I could care less. Like, I'd much rather have so many other characters before her.
We'll have an interesting conversation. Sense. But, like, would you put Jango above Dooku?
Yes, in terms of coolness and whatnot. But I don't think that they're going to add Jango. Because, I mean, they might. But they're basically just going to reskin him. And they would give him, obviously, his 2 blasters, which would be cool. But I don't know what, in terms of other abilities, would they give him. Because, like, wrist rockets...
Maybe they'll give him a good flamethrower that actually is useful somehow. I don't know how you would do that.
Or, like, he can shoot the rocket off of his backpack.
Maybe. I mean, Boba shoots like 6, though. I think it'd be cooler to have the one... See, that's a problem for Jango overall. There's already Boba. So, like, how much cooler is Jango actually going to be than Boba? They both have the same voice.
And Boba came after, so technically he would have more upgrades than Jango would.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know how that kind of stuff works.
Yeah,
just because they came later doesn't technically mean there's anything more interesting about them. But
yeah, but I don't know what they do with his abilities is the problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would add him.
So we still.
But I mean, that doesn't change the fact that.
Because I imagine
Yeah,
Dooku's
I mean, we
probably 5th, or that's at least the conversation.
I mean, Dooku, I could see them adding to the game, though. Like, they would probably pair Anakin and Dooku together, since they did fight twice, technically. So,
Yeah.
well, why don't we put Anakin at 3, or Django at 4, or, I mean, we could flip-flop, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And then
I mean, it could still
number 5, we
change
could
by
put
the end of the
Dooku.
podcast.
Do we
Okay,
agree?
so at least for
Dooku at
now.
5?
Yep, then we got Dooku at 5 at the moment. So far, obviously, it's all Clone Wars. We haven't strayed into anywhere else.
Yeah, that's because
At this
well, I
point.
mean, to be fair, I don't think too many of our subscribers are gonna want anyone but Clone Wars, either. To be honest,
There's not a whole lot.
and there's like
more
no
that I'd
one
be
they can
interested in.
add.
There-
We haven't even tapped into the TV shows. Like, there's tons of stuff people want from the Clone Wars. I don't think too many people want anything from Rebels in comparison to the Clone Wars. Like, there's
Yeah, I think
Ahsoka, and there's Rex, and
less
there's quite a
stuff
few
anyway.
characters. Ventress,
Well-
and there's Cad Bane.
See, the thing is, you're going to end up with those characters who may or like they're interesting characters or they were neat characters, but are they really like? Did they really battle all that much? And that's where you get into those kind of characters here in a minute. But we'll talk about that. But like now that we are kind of past the major Clone Wars heroes, at number 6, and this is the one person I would have as a possibly above Count Dooku, is Mace Windu. Because Mace Windu, yeah, I know, I think I forgot about him a little bit too. I don't like his odds of getting in the game, which I find disappointing because I love Mace Windu. He's a great character and he's a unique character. I don't know how good his odds are, and I think that's why I'd almost consider putting him slightly below Dooku, but I'd much rather have him than Dooku. So
Well,
I'm trying
yeah,
to like,
I mean,
I'm trying to think of multiple
I-
factors as far as he's concerned.
Let's keep him at 6, just because I don't think they're going to add him probably at all. Because
Probably not.
I don't know who they would pair him with. Because, I mean, he fought basically only Palpatine.
Well, you're out of Siths
So-
after Grievous and Dooku. Obviously, Darth Maul's already in the game.
Well,
Palpatine's
technically,
already in the
Cookie
game.
Grievous isn't a Sith, but
My bad. I'm sorry. Evil villains
Out
who
of
use
bad guys.
lightsabers. That's so you're out of
Yeah.
bad guys who use lightsabers after Grievous and Dooku are out of the way, unless you use a couple.
See, I don't know
people from
why
Clone
they-
Wars,
I don't know why
which
they
is
want to do
technically
that.
Possible.
I don't know why they care about pairing people that are similar, because the game's already unbalanced to hell, so what do they care? I mean,
maybe
they
they
obviously
don't.
don't care about balancing.
Maybe they don't. Care.
Well, I mean, yeah, we could be wrong.
We
I mean,
could
they,
be totally wrong. They've only done it once.
Yeah.
Been in Phasma, and maybe they'll.
well, I was going based off of the last game, too.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
Nub
The
and
last
Greedo,
game they
and
did.
they try to keep a pattern. Like, they don't want one to be a saber hero and the other one to be a blaster, but anyway,
Well, I guess
so...
none of the DLCs were saber. They were all guns. I think all the DLC characters were guns, weren't they? Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I think they
Well,
were
there
all
was no one
guns.
else they could have added.
Yeah, because they were only in Galactic Civil War, so they didn't have a
yeah,
whole lot of
so-
options.
So let's put Windu at 6, just because
Okay.
we don't think they're going to add him. I mean, I would agree. I would put Windu pretty high on the list. I'd probably put him above Dooku,
Yeah,
but
probably would too.
I don't think I'd put
maybe
him above
maybe above
Anakin.
Jango.
I don't know.
I'd personally put him above Anakin. Like I put him 3 on my list, just of what I want, not factoring in what the odds are. I would have Mace Windu very.
Oh
high,
yeah,
'cause
when
I
it,
just
when
think
it
he's a
comes
really
with
cool
people
character.
I'd want, I'd put Windu probably at number 3. But
I think
let's put
that
him
might
number
be
6, just to...
Alright, we'll rediscuss, but for right now, you'll sit at 6.
Okay, number
so-
7.
Number 7, this is where I know we're going to start differing, because I want Jyn Erso here.
Oh,
I-
well, Jin in the last game sucked balls.
Well, okay,
She was bad.
It's not her fault.
That's not okay. I can't put that into, because they changed the characters completely for the first game, so
Yes.
I can't really go based off of that.
And to be fair,
Um,
Jyn actually kicked quite a bit of ass when she was actually in the movie.
Okay, well, I had to. Krennic and Jin are probably going to make it into the game. But
That's the
I mean,
problem
when it comes
for me, by the way.
when it comes
is
to
the
people
Krennic gets
that
paired
are,
with Jin, because Krennic's not that interesting, and Jin's a lot more interesting to me. But go on with your point.
that's because she's hot. That's it.
That's not it. It's just an interesting character. And
Okay,
actually
well,
did something.
when it comes to the Galactic Civil War, the heroes that they could add are Jin, Krennic, Greedo, and Pancake Face. That's basically it. They're not going to add anyone else other than those 4. There's no one they could add. So, and then for the current era, the Disney era, there's like no one else they could add for that either. So we're probably not going to get anyone for those. Like, they're not going to add Rose or anybody. Would make any
I
sense.
hope not. Well, I mean, they
And
might.
everyone's currently in the game. Like Poe
a couple
and
people they
everybody.
would think about. Well, like they've talked about Poe as a non-X-wing, just as a fighter, like on the ground.
He hasn't
as a
done
possibility.
anything other than in the sky.
I mean, but that's not necessarily like there's no chance he could get in the game just because he didn't do fighting on the ground in the movies. We've seen people just be given a blaster and said that they're
Okay, well, who else would they add that are
interesting
bad
character.
guys? Hux?
Snoke is the
'Cause
only
he didn't,
person.
He hasn't. Oh, like hell, they're gonna add Snoke. Snoke
Hey,
didn't do
I'm,
shit.
I'm saying
Greedo
that
did
there's-
more than Snoke. But okay, I
say
guess I can't.
that.
Never mind. I can't.
Greedo didn't do more than Snoke. Greedo didn't do anything but say hello and die and explode.
It's
And I guess
basically what happened to Snoke.
he did a little more than that. He set up the entire First Order, although that's not in the movie. It's still
Yeah, that
much
didn't
more
happen.
than what Greedo did.
Okay.
Greedo
Anyway.
did more.
So, okay, I don't think they're going to add Poe or Snoke. I don't think they're going to add anyone extra to the First Order, because they just added Finn and Phasma, and that would be a huge stretch to add Snoke and Poe.
Well,
So,
Phasma didn't do anything.
I don't think...
Speaking of someone who never did anything.
Yeah, she didn't do shit.
So, I mean, they put her in. I'm just saying,
Realistically,
it's
they're not going to add anyone
possible.
else for that. And so many people want Clone Wars stuff, I think they're going to focus on that. So, number 7, I'm going to go with... Well, this is kind of the in-between.
Mm-hmm. See, this is where you have to start
Between-
thinking outside of the movies if you're going to keep going to Clone Wars. For the most part. I mean,
Well,
you
no,
could
no,
add, like,
I'm not going to
Padme.
Clone Wars.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I'm thinking either Padme or Jin.
See, I would
Realistically,
think Jin
they'd
over
probably-
Padme, personally.
They're not going to add Windu. They would probably pick Padme in that slot. And they'd pair Padme and Jango. But I'm just going to agree with you, and let's go with Jin.
Yeah. Jin Erso.
Okay, Jin or
Next
so
the
for
list.
7.
Now at 8.
I mean, they're going to add Krennic to Jin, which no
that's
one's
what I
going to be
hate
excited
about it,
for.
'cause I don't care about Krennic. I don't want his character is. It's not like his character is bad in the movies. I just don't care for him as a playable character.
So realistically, I'm going to go for number 8. Like, I guess I'd have to say Krennic.
See, I'd
I
say
don't want
Padme
Krennic.
before Krennic. Well, like, if you have no desire at all for them to be in the game, don't put them on the list. I mean, there are other
I guess
factors.
Krennic doesn't make the list.
No, Krennic's not making the list if you don't want him
Okay.
there at all. Like, I have
Okay,
desire
good.
to have... Like, the 7 people that are on the list right now, I'd be happy to have them in the game.
Okay.
Like-
Well, then 8, I'm putting Pancake Face.
9 up above Padme?
Yep. Yes.
Why? He never did
Just
anything.
because he didn't. But I'd have no desire to have Padme. Like, I'd much rather have Pancake Face. Pancake Face at least looks funny, sounds funny, and was a lovable hero from the last game. And blew up a Death Star.
He didn't blow up a Death Star. He watched Lando do it as he laughed his way through it.
No, he
I'm
helped
not a
pilot
pancake
it.
face hater or anything, but
You don't
like,
know
he
how
doesn't
much
have significance
the passenger does in
nearly as
flying.
much. I know he has
He
his
operates
own
the shields and
backstory
stuff.
But Padme actually
Well-
did have a legitimate and like actually had a big part in the Star Wars movies. So I'd imagine her character would make a lot more sense as a hero. than
Well, just
Nine Up.
because of terms of who they will add, I'd say number 9, I would pick Padme, and 10, I'd go Greedo. So who would be your number 8? Padme?
I'd put Padme at 8. 9 and 10. See, I'd probably put Nub just because I do kind of like Nub from the last game too, even though he's kind of it's kind of dumb, but he is kind of lovable in his own way. Like I'd put him probably number 9, so I'd probably switch him and Padme on my list. Number 10,
Okay,
I see Greedo to me.
Well, then we could just be in agreement. We can just put Padme at number 8 and Pancake at number 9.
So we'll go with that, which puts us at number 10. Now, for number 10, as far as Greedo's concerned, he's beyond worthless to me. I don't find him to be likable. He had no point at all in Star Wars. He's just pointless. No. I think he's super pointless to me.
Well, who else are we going to add to the list that they would realistically much rather add?
Well, even realistically, there's a better chance of Snoke. He lived longer than Greedo did. They both have the same significance as far as that's concerned. So, I think Snoke would have a much better chance. I think, frankly, here's an odd thought that I had.
Yes, but they already have a character model for Greedo. They don't have one for Snoke.
Yeah, but I'm this is just because it would be easier for them doesn't factor that high onto this list because that's the only reason. The only reason to put Greedo on this list is because it would be easy for them, and I need more than that.
Well, the reason I'm not picking people from the reason I'm not picking people from the extended stuff, like the TV shows, is because that only appeals to a certain audience. The majority of Star Wars fans don't watch those shows. If you just take your average, my dad, for example, he's seen all the Star Wars movies. If I was like, hey, what do you think of Captain Rex? He'd be like, who the hell is that? Because he hasn't watched.
Well, to be fair,
that's the same way with all my family.
That's a demographic they're not going to be going for at all because they don't play video games either. But I still see your point.
True.
There's still a lot of people in our age group or a little lower that don't watch the cartoons and have only watched the movies. So I think the odds are very low as far as that's
I'd like
concerned.
some of those characters, but
they'd be interesting.
I don't think they're going to make this list at all. I don't think they're going to put them into the game.
Yeah.
Dennis Bronville said he wants, I think he said Ahsoka or something. But, who knows?
Ahsoka's the best shot. Because she's the best chance they have of getting a Clone Wars hero.
You just want to throw her on the list just to do it?
I would either throw Ahsoka.
Greedo.
Ahsoka would I'd definitely put Ahsoka before Greedo. Just for the sake of... Greedo, the only significance he has is that he is known, or no, not known, that he was in the last game. Otherwise, he would have no place even talking about this list.
Okay.
So, I'd put Ahsoka definitely before him. I just want to bring this up. I don't think it actually makes sense, but I think it would be interesting. What if they tried to add... I just want you to think of what this would look like. Add one of the droids, BB-8 or R2-D2 as a hero. I just want you to think about it. I'm not saying I want it. Maybe BB-8 because he can fly around so fast.
Well, then you get into the Jar Jar kind of stuff.
Well, I know. Oh no, I'm ready for the Jar Jar stuff. I forgot about Jar Jar. I wanted him somewhere close.
I actually wouldn't care if they added Jar Jar.
I'm not against it.
I would not be against Jar Jar. I'd put Jar Jar above Jin. I'd put Jar Jar above Pancake. I'd put him above Padme.
I'd put Jar Jar above Pancake. Probably above Padme. Jar Jar
because
would be
so many
really
people,
kind of funny and interesting to play with.
He would be funny, and people would haha, I killed you with Jar Jar, and heroes versus villains. He would be the shit talk character.
He's a trolling character. Is what he is basically at this point, and I think it'd be awesome. Yeah. I'd be up to have Jar Jar in there.
Yeah, I would be pretty stoked if they added Jar Jar. I don't care about these Galactic Civil War characters at all. I don't care if they had Jin, Pancake, any of those people. If they just had nothing but Clone Wars characters, I'd be perfectly fine with that. But that's not what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah, so.
But I would... Well, I'm up for putting Jar Jar above Padme. If you want to put Jar Jar 8, I'm fine with that. I wouldn't put him above Jin, but I'd put him 8.
So we're going to change this and put Jar Jar at 8?
I'm okay with that. I would rather have Jar Jar than Nub, and I'd rather have Jar Jar than Padme. I think he'd be funny to play with. I don't want him above,
we're just going to knock Ahsoka off the list and low everyone else?
I don't know. Would you put Ahsoka above Pancake Face?
Maybe just because she's a saber hero. Because I like saber heroes.
Pancake. Or we knock off Padme.
I would rather knock off Padme and keep Pancake. Because Pancake's
like
one of those
Padme
funny
better than
characters.
Pancake. He's kind of funny, I guess. What's more funny about Pancake is what the fans like reactions to Pancake Face.
Yeah, the memes they've built around him,
creating him into something big. See,
okay, well let's just go over the list from 1, and then we'll just finish it off with whoever once we get down there. So number 1, we both agreed it was Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Grievous is number 2 at the moment. Anakin, I don't think that's changing. I think 1 and 2 are pretty solid. Number 3 is Anakin. 4 is Jango Fett.
Yep.
5 is Count Dooku. 6 is Mace Windu. 7 is Jyn Erso. 8 right now, I guess, is Jar Jar.
Is Jar Jar.
And I
Okay.
and I think
Jar
we're
Jar.
looking at 9 Nub, Padme / Ahsoka, 9 and 10.
Lion Nub,
Where we're at.
Pancake.
I'm really thinking about putting Mace Windu
Ahsoka, and
higher.
Padme. Higher than what?
Then Dooku. Maybe
Yeah,
Jango.
but we had to consider them adding them.
Even
into the
considering
game.
that, I still would almost rather have Mace Windu higher.
I mean, we
Even
could
considering
we
the
could
odds
switch
aren't
him with
very high,
Dooku,
they'll put him in
just
it.
flip flop them. Put Dooku at 5.
Okay, we'll stick with that. We'll put Mace
Or,
Windu at 5. Drop
that's not
Dooku
what I
1.
meant. Yeah. Dooku to 6.
Yeah, we'll put
Okay.
Dooku at 6.
Oh, let's just knock off Ahsoka because they probably won't add her just because she's Clone Wars. And then we'll go Padme at 9 and Pancake at 10. Pancake. Combine them both. It's got Pancake Face's head and then her body.
Wow. I'd rather have that hero. Pancake. That's number 1 now. Pancake. Pancake is our number 1 most wanted hero.
Okay, well, I mean,
Well, there you go.
that's basically our list. Obi-Wan, Grievous, Anakin, Jango,
Mace
Windu,
Windu, Dooku,
then Dooku, Jyn,
Jyn Erso.
Jar Jar, Padme, Pancake Face.
I had
That's
a
what we've
Pancake
come
Face
up with.
Padme, but we can do that either way. But yeah,
Okay, whichever works.
so that's
But,
our top 10. Is there
that
any
is our top
honorable
10.
mentions you want to at least throw in there?
Yeah, I'm sure people are going to add in those extra Clone Wars characters, but like I said, the only reason we didn't put them in this list really was because we don't think they're going to get added at all.
It's
Well, I hope
very
they add them,
unrealistic.
but
Yeah,
I just don't think that they
be
will.
interesting.
And then
Still
we could
a lot of
also
this
we could
stuff-
get into like it's just so Clone Wars heavy because there's so many things they can add from the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
And people are way more excited for these Clone Wars heroes than these other people. Like, okay, imagine they have this DLC coming up and it's like Obi-Wan and Grievous DLC. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god." Now if they have like a Jyn Erso and Greedo DLC, not too many people is going to be excited compared
Makes
to
sense.
Obi-Wan and Grievous.
They have Greedo.
I don't know. I was
would
giving
be
someone that
excited
could counter.
Jyn Erso's in the game. See, I only put Jyn Erso 7 because I'm just being realistic with myself. But you know how badly I want Jyn Erso in this game. I'd still put her much higher, but I'm trying to keep my feelings.
My point being, a
for
Krennic
a
/
point.
Jyn DLC wouldn't be as epic as like
No, it
Anakin,
wouldn't. They've
Dooku,
already
or
had
Jango,
Jyn and
Windu.
Krennic too.
See,
I mean, it's already
Windu
been
and Django could be
Battlefront.
combined because they fought for half a second. I don't know.
That didn't end well for Jango.
No. But yeah, that's our list.
Younglings as a hero.
Let us know how your guys' list is. Let us know in the comments below. Leave your list of your top 10 in the comments. We'd like to read some of them. And
Master Anakin, what should we do? That's its one emote.
Who's eating
Talking
those?
about younglings.
We're adding younglings. What? Wow, I didn't listen to you at all. Younglings is a hero. It's just, your ability is to die.
Got it. Oh man.
Okay.
Your ability
that's
is
gonna-
to like swarm with you.
Swarm. Well, this,
Younglings just
fine.
swarm
We're just
on
gonna add
people.
porgs to this game.
Oh my god, I was gonna mention that.
Number 10's porg. Ho ho ho.
Number
Okay.
one is
No,
porg.
that's gonna. We didn't wrap this up. That's
Cute
gonna do
them
it for
to
our
death.
podcast, guys. Well, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Like I said, leave a comment down below. Become a sponsor today so you can help promote our. You can get moderator status for our streams. We're gonna be streaming twice a week now, or try to, and then become a patron on Patreon. That way we can keep doing these podcasts, keep the channel going. And that's gonna do it for us, and we will
And
talk
if
to you
got
guys.
this far into the video, you should comment "porgasm" somewhere in the comments.
We will talk to you.
Your defeat is inevitable.
I warn you not to underestimate my powers.
Do not throw away your potential.
Don't force me to kill you!